broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
How can someone prepare themselves, Roland, for the upcoming hurricane season?
So one of the things to remember is, being in Houston, we're always dealing with hurricanes. So you really need to look at your entire network before the hurricane hits. You start off with making sure that your computers, your servers, and all of your network equipment have battery backups, and those battery backups are working. So people think about water as being a big thing, but what they don't take into consideration is the power fluctuations that come about when a storm enters the area. Power will come off. When it comes back on, you have that surge. So you want to have that continuity of an uninterruptible power supply that keeps your server, your switches, and your computers all running long enough so you get that continuous flow. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you've got correct backups. You want to have local backups, but you also want to have backups in the cloud. So if the whole area is flooded and has gone down, you can actually go to an offsite backup, and you really want to have an image-based offsite backup.
So you mentioned a battery backup power. What would that be? So
backup battery power is your UPS or uninterruptible power supply. And what happens is that your computers and your servers are all running off this battery powered device that also has surge protection. So when the power goes off, you're running off the batteries. When the power comes back on, you're running off the batteries. And we found that the APC UPS battery backups are really good, because if the power's been off for a while and the battery's completely drained, when the power comes back up, the UPS actually starts automatically, whereas a lot of the other UPSs don't start automatically. And that's great if you are out of the office, you can't get to it, knowing that your UPSs are going to power up automatically.
When it comes to, you mentioned like an off-site server, what is that?
So you're running on a network, everything's stored to your local server. You really want to have the option of that server being backed up to the cloud in an image-based backup. And what we can do by using a Cronus is spin up a virtual server in the cloud. So say, for example, we had a situation like we had with Hurricane Harvey, and some people were down for weeks, some people even months. Everything was affected. We could actually spin up your server exactly as it was in the cloud and connect all of your employees to that virtual server running in the cloud, so you don't have any downtime.
When it comes to a business being able to digitize documents and create like a digital file room, how can they do that?
So if you've got manual documents, those have all got to be scanned in. You want to have them, once they're scanned and digitally put into the correct folders, and you then want to have that obviously stored locally but also in the cloud. There's no point in digitizing everything if you don't have the correct backups, because then when disaster strikes, you may have digitalized it, but that could be gone in a flash.
How can businesses be sure that things are backed up in the cloud?
So as we were discussing, with the Cronus, we can take your server to the cloud. Now, some people run with a virtual server in the cloud anyway, so that's one option. Now, obviously, that's going to incur a monthly cost. But if you generally have employees working from the office, it still makes sense to have a local server that everybody connects to, that even when the internet goes in and out, you can still continue to operate. But the advantage of using the Cronus cloud-based disaster recovery means that you get the best of both worlds. You're running locally, but in the case of disaster, you go to your backup disaster recovery server in the cloud, you spin it up, and everybody carries on running as if nothing ever happened.
Roland, if people have questions, how can they reach out to you and your team over there at Impress Computers?
So they can get hold of us at 281-647-9977, or they can reach us on the web, impresscomputers.tech. That's IMPRESS computers.tech. And we'll sit down with them. We can schedule a time to get this done before the hurricane hits. You don't want to wait until the hurricane's in the Gulf before you start doing something about it. You want to get prepared now. Don't wait till it's too late.
Preparation truly is key. Thank you, Roland, for coming on the show and just sharing with us some of those tips, folks. Remember that old adage, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So in other words, as we start entering hurricane season, we start entering potential slowdown in the economy, make sure that you're doing all those things proactively that a lot of the professionals have talked about, whether it's your personal budget or that's your business marketing and generating revenue, or it's looking at things that you can be doing to be able to make sure that you can exist in the midst of natural disasters. So this is our show. If you want to come and be a guest, feel free to reach out to me. Email is sherman.on@hgfin.net. Have a great day, everybody.